Stories may seem infinitely complex, and they are, but at their core, they're as simple as three forces. Therefore, let's take a closer look at this ABT narrative template. The three words are and, but, therefore. They embody your setup, problem, and solution. But they're just words. What's much more important is what they represent, which is the three forces of narrative: agreement, contradiction, consequence. The first force is agreement. This is what you start with for effective communication. Before you begin arguing and making your case or defending yourself or anything else aggressive, you want to start with what we can all agree upon. It's the same forces you see in debating. In fact, have you ever heard of the book They Say, I Say by Gerald Graff and Kathy Birkenstein? Several million college students sure have. It's one of the most popular college textbooks of the past decade, used across the country in classes of comparative literature and rhetoric. The title comes from the simplest, most general way to present an effective argument. Look at the first part. They say. That's how you open a good argument, what we can all agree upon. For example, they say that Twinkies are edible for decades or longer. Now, the second force is contradiction, as in, but I say Twinkies actually have a shelf life of a little over a month. These two forces are as primal as the yin and the yang, right there, boiled all the way down to just two letters, the AB of the ABT. Yuri Hassan is a neurophysiologist at Princeton who does a lot of work putting people into an MRI machine and looking at their brain activity in response to narrative structure. He looks at the brain activity of subjects watching non-narrative videos of people just hanging out at a park where they have no problem, which means total agreement. Then he looks at the brain activity of subjects watching narrative videos, like a suspenseful murder mystery movie with lots of problems, which means lots of contradiction. Here's what he finds. Here's your brain on agreement. Here is your brain on contradiction. This is non-narrative, the world of agreement, just and. This is narrative, a world with contradiction, the world of ABT. This is why the ABT is so important. It activates the brain. It's how we communicate, boiled down to the most primal level. It, of course, ends with therefore, which embodies the power of consequence. After you've told us what we can agree upon, after you've pointed out that we have a problem, you then owe it to us to explain what it all means. And if you fail to do that, you're going to hear from us. One loud, forceful word, which is the word of consequence. Therefore,